broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go. I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home.
We are coming to the end of our ownership of the Gixxer. Well, it's not ownership because it's not mine. It's Suzuki Bikes UK. It's a loan bike, a press bike, whatever you want to refer to it as. And it's going back tomorrow, so we need to conclude how we found it. After more than just a test ride, after having it for 3 weeks. So it's been a brilliant opportunity for me to try it for so long, because I absolutely love this bike to start with. So it's really good to have it for so long, so I can really, you know, see how I get on with it a bit. I wouldn't say long term, but over a longer term, it's nice to see what it's like and what you don't like. Oh, that was a bit bumpy. So as I just said a minute ago, this is a brilliant bike, and I already knew it was. I'm more confident in the corners on this than I do in my MT-09, which I never would have expected. So it really is so lovely to ride. It just does exactly what you want it to do in the corners. I've never really had a moment of doubt where I think, oh, you know, it's not gonna make this corner or whatever. I have my full trust in it, which is obviously important. So it's just a lovely bike to ride. The power out the corners is just perfect. You've got the three modes, A, B and C. I've been riding in A mode and I haven't found any problems. I haven't felt the need to lower it at all, even in damp conditions. You know, the bike only goes as fast as you make it go, so if it's a bit damp, just don't be as, you know, snatchy on the throttle. Don't get on the gas too early out of corners if it's damp. It's just common sense, really. So yeah, I've absolutely loved it. We've got the traction control as well. It goes up to, I think it's 8. It's currently set to 4. I've had it up and down. I had it on 2, but I haven't turned it off. I just like to know it's on, you know, a bit of peace of mind. As I said, it doesn't seem to come in that often, but it's just nice to have it on there. Like I said, it's been absolutely perfect for me, personally. I haven't had any issues with it. The position is, as I said in the commuting video, I think it's as comfortable as a sports bike will get. You're sat in it rather than on the top, which I obviously prefer a lot more than being sat on top of, like the R1, the R6. Those style bikes are really aggressive. This isn't bad. I do find on long rides it hurts, but it's more so my back than anything. It's never my wrists. Again, in the commuting video you saw how I filtered on it. It's nice for filtering. I didn't feel it was I didn't have a problem with it at all. So it's good knowing that it can commute if you need to. If you're a person who just fancies a commute on a sunny day, this will be fine for it. As I said in the commute video, you can chill at 30 in 5th gear, and it's, so put it in 5th now. It's not a problem, it's not bogging down, it's not lagging or anything. And then if you whack it on, it'll come on quick enough. It's just a brilliant all-rounder in my opinion. The brakes, the Brembos, are absolutely incredible. They are so good. I actually had a near miss. A Corsa pulled out on me and I had to slam on from quite a high speed, and I thought it was the end. I thought it was the end of the Gixxer, but then Brembo saved me. I stopped so fast, I thought I was going to lose the front, to be honest, because I was braking that hard, and I managed to keep on it, so that was obviously a bonus. So yeah, the brakes are absolutely insane. I got a M209 the other day, and them brakes are terrible. They're actually terrible. Whether that's because I've been riding this and these are Brembos, obviously it will be, but I just don't trust them. I just feel like I don't trust them. Maybe I'll get used to them and sort of trust them a bit more after this is gone, but at the minute I'm just they're not good. Got the balance-free suspension, front and rear. It seems fine. Obviously this bike has not been set up to me personally. It's just come from factory settings, and it's been fine. I think it's a good middle ground. It's not too harsh, it's not too soft. There are a few bumps that get me like really badly, but it's nothing major. I would have loved to have taken it on track so I could really get a feel for the bike in its sort of natural habitat, you know, the track, and we could really, you know, push it as far as I can push it as a rider. That would have been brilliant, but I think we're allowed to take them on track, but I just don't have the funds to pay for a track day, which is a shame. Hopefully I'll get another chance in the future to maybe take one on track, because I really would like to show you, you know, and give you some feedback on it, because I had a lot of people asking me, you know, what's it like on track, are you going to take it on track? That was one of the main questions. So it's a shame that I've not been able to do that, because the road isn't a place for riding it like a racetrack. It's just not the place for it. So obviously, you know, we can't, not only because of the road, we can't really test it to its full capability, but as well as me as a rider, I can't test it to its full capability because I'm just not that skilled of a rider. But we can get a general feel for it. I'd like to think I'm pretty relatable. Not everybody's Valentino Rossi. Hopefully it's more relatable than someone who's, you know, a racer or a magazine editor is pretty quick. This is the thing that I have to touch on with my reviews. These are simply just my experiences. These are simply my experiences and my thoughts. I am not a racer, I'm not a magazine editor, so my terminology might not be very good, my riding skills aren't amazing, so, you know, you can't really expect a lot from me, I guess I want to say. Just bear in mind, this is only my thoughts. Other people's may vary massively, so again, I need to really make that clear. This is just my thoughts, this is my review of this bike from me and my capability as a rider. I love the white, this particular model, the white and blue, it really stands out, and everyone pretty much I've been out with has said how much they like it. I probably would say it's maybe a little bit girly, maybe that's just me, but they're all guys who I've been out with and they've all said they really like it. So, because I originally thought that maybe guys wouldn't be into it as much, but it turns out they are, so that's another bonus. I have touched on the dash before with the negative display. I like it. Not a lot of people are a massive fan because the likes of the R1 and so on have the TFT dash. They sort of feel like Suzuki have scrimped with this sort of negative dash, but Suzuki are really good value for money, and I think that's what people will have to remember. For what you get for the price of this bike, it's so worth it, and it's really good value for money, without a doubt. So the dash, obviously this is the R model, so we've got the negative dash. The standard one just has sort of grey, but I like it. There is a lot going on. Sometimes I do have to look for a lot longer than I would say on a different dash. Say like the time's pretty small at the bottom. I have to look for about 2 seconds, or, you know, it's not good to be taking your eyes off the road even for 2 seconds. So it could have done with being a little bigger, but this is the thing, like, it's a super bike at the end of the day. It just depends how practical you want it to be, you know what I'm saying. The fuel gauge is pretty small. I was out all day yesterday and I got home, or near home, and I realised that the fuel light was on. I have no idea how long it had been on for, or when it came on. I had not a clue, because I hadn't even noticed it until I was sat at this lights and looked down, and I was like, oh crap, how long has that been on? So I honestly don't know how long it had been on, how much fuel I had left, but that's just another thing. The fuel gauge is pretty small. We've got this sort of middle section here. There's quite a bit going on with your trip counter and your fuel, but it's really good that it's got that information on there. I'd rather have more information than less, even if it does take me longer to look at it. Same way M209 has quite a really big fuel gauge, because there's not a lot else going on, so it can have that big fuel gauge. So I can't really critique the dash for anything. Some people say that you can't see it very well, it's not very clear, but I don't really have a problem with that. It's just there's a lot going on, that's all. Maybe that's what they're referring to, because there's a lot going on and it's a negative dash, you can't really see it properly. So maybe that's what they're referring to, but yeah. Then we have the quick shifter and the auto blipper. The quick shift, both are really, really good. I find myself not using the auto blipper as much because I'm just so used to not using one, not having one, which does sort of get a bit annoying, trying to remind yourself that you need to use it. But the quick shifter is incredible. Again, had to get used to using that. Even on my M209, every now and again I'm blipping the throttle because I'm just so used to doing it. But yeah, we're definitely it's definitely good that it has both of them. They are really good combined together, and it's just so nice having that option. When you're just chilling, you can just put your hand on the tank, change gear, change down, and when you're just chilling, it's really, really nice. And then obviously when you're going for it as well, you really sort of, when you're in the zone, just flick it up. It's just great. And I imagine with an exhaust, it'll sound absolutely incredible as well. Sort of popping on the up and down shifts. Yes please, it would sound good. This is literally like a month later. I'm a bad YouTuber should I say. I know. So yeah, I've not had the GSXR1000R for a good while now, but basically what happened is I went out on the last day of having the GSXR to do the review, like overall review of it, and that was a rookie error, leaving it till the last day of owning it because it rained. So I went out and it wasn't raining, so I started doing my vlogging, and then it started raining, which meant I couldn't vlog because my GoPro has an open case housing, so if it rains, you know, it's not gonna do it any good. So I had to abandon that, and then I've been meaning to sit down and talk about what I felt about the GSXR for a good while now. Obviously I'm so behind, so yeah, I'm sorry I'm a crap YouTuber. This was meant to be the final review video, my overall experience. So yeah, what did I think of it? Honestly, it's such a good bike, and it's so suited to me personally, in my eyes, because I am not an advanced rider, nowhere near. I have a lot of experience, but I'm not a fast rider. So to me, that 1000 was the best one I could possibly get, because it's not, obviously it's not slow, you know, it's one of the faster ones, but the way it's just not super aggressive, but obviously it is a super bike, so it is fast, you know, it's torquey and whatnot, but it's just really manageable, and it was good for so many things. You saw in my commuting video, you can chill in, you know, 5th gear doing like 30, 40, and it's completely fine. It's not bogging down or anything like that. I felt like the position of it was really quite good. It wasn't crazy over the front. As far as a sports bike goes, it's definitely one of the better ones I've ridden. Some people have been riding sports bikes all their lives, so they aren't phased by any of this. They don't ache, they don't it doesn't bother them because they're so used to it. But like myself, you know, I've been riding naked bikes all my life, so these sort of things do have a big impact on me, if that makes, I don't know, really know how to word this, but yeah, basically that's important to me. If it's comfortable, if it's manageable, you know, that sort of thing, and it really is for a sports bike. Don't get me wrong, I would go out and I would ache, mainly my back. I don't know if I have back problems or something, but I always seem to ache with my back, which obviously isn't good. So yeah, and I've mentioned this before, I do always have a bag on, and that's not going to help my back, so it could be a mixture of both things. But and then I had a lot of people asking me, you know, how does it compare to the M209, which at first I was like, they can't be compared, they're nothing alike, why would I compare them? So I kind of like brushed over that comment, and then when I was riding it and I actually realized, actually no, they can be compared, because a lot of people were saying to me, you know, you are going to miss this. I have mentioned this in one of my other videos, but a lot of people were saying to me, you're going to miss that 1000cc power when you give that bike back and you jump back on your MT-09. But I can say it's actually not like that in the slightest, because the way the MT-09 delivers the power is completely different, because obviously it's torquey. Obviously the Gixxer is, you know, it's not slower or anything like that. Obviously the MT-09 doesn't have the top speed, but the way the MT-09 delivers it with being so snatchy and aggressive, it doesn't feel faster, but it's just a lot more, if that makes sense. Obviously if you wind back that throttle on the GSXR1000, you know, it's gonna go. But on the MT-09, it's like you have to be really reserved with it. And obviously MT-09 owners who, you know, watch my videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That's just the nature of them. So do I miss that 1000cc do I miss that 1000cc power? No, I honestly don't. I would like the GSXR1000 because I absolutely love it and it's a brilliant bike, but I don't miss the power, which I think is important to note. The only reason I would buy a super bike or the Gixxer specifically would be if money wasn't an option and I could have whatever bikes I wanted, and you know, I actually had room in the garage for another bike, because I don't. So that would be the only reason why I would buy one, probably. Because I think it would be really nice to have both a sports bike and a naked. But again, I was thinking about this and I was thinking, if I was going out for a day ride with my mates, which bike would I take? And I do think the Gixxer would get left at home a lot more than the MT-09, because I know I'm going to be comfortable in the MT-09, especially on long rides. If we get stuck in traffic and stuff, I'm not going to be like, oh, I need to go, because on sports bikes, you know, being in traffic is not nice at all. It's just like, oh, I want to go, and you just can't, so it's really annoying. So I do think, you know, it probably wouldn't get ridden that much, so that's why it'd have to be a factor of money's not an issue, and that's when I would have one. So yeah, I hope that clears that question up. It didn't seem too bad on fuel either. I'm terrible with keeping up with my MPG and stuff like that, because I'm not being funny, but if you ride a bike, if you buy a bike and it's just for riding, not commuting, and you're really bothered about the fuel consumption, then you should buy something else, maybe a smaller engine or something, because fuel consumption does not matter to me. It doesn't, like I don't ever monitor my MPG on the bike, because you know, it's just my fun machine. Like, I don't care putting a tenner in it 3 times a day. Like, I accept that that's gonna happen, so it just doesn't bother me. And obviously some of you will kind of understand that yourselves, but obviously if you're commuting, then the MPG does matter and stuff like that if you do a lot of mileage. But I don't really do a lot of mileage, it's just whenever I want to go out and enjoy myself. So MPG, I don't know. So the GXR to me is like the perfect one, right in the middle of them all. I don't think the looks are that great compared to the other ones, obviously, but I think with a good paint scheme, good wrap or whatever, they can look so good. Check out Medis on YouTube, I think that's how you pronounce it, or on Instagram. He's got one and it looks absolutely mint. So yeah, so obviously thanks to Suzuki for letting me have the GXR for this long, and it was a really good experience. And yes, if I had the money I would go and buy one.